So this last session, to me, is it's a very important piece. I mentioned it briefly with the ladies who were not going to be here yet. This is such a key piece, and I hear this a lot at the retreats that we do. Particularly for folks that have been to, I think the people that get it the most are the ones who have been to 2, 3, or 4 of our 3 or 4 day retreats. Usually when people come to the first retreat, it's a lot of work. It's subtle, it's very sweet, it's very special, and it's also a lot of work. And so when you leave, it's kind of like, oh, good, we did it, we made it. You get home, and it's like all those other things that are not as much work are there. They are a lot of work, but they're natural because that's what people have been doing. And so one of the things I want to try to do, particularly for the new folks, for folks that have been to, so what I hear a lot with folks that have been to one retreat is they then come to another one, and often what they share, when they share, is they say, you know, how at the first, everyone go ahead. Drop in, quick, do it with your eyes open. Eyes open, clear your field, just got to be able to do it in every circumstance, every situation. So what I hear is that they had such a great experience, and then they went home and they got buried with all the stuff coming at them, everything, and then they got back to the next retreat that they came to, and they had already, you can't judge it by what happened in 3-4 months. What, to me, you qualify it is they got to that next retreat, and within a moment of being in the room there, they completely opened up their field, energy flowing, open. That neural pathway, that muscle, it's there. When they have some major situation, it's there. And yet, to me, the thing that we want to try to offset if we can, is that integration and the tendency for all those things that are starved for neutrality coming in and sucking all that neutrality that we've cultivated here. And so what I want to do for a moment is just a very simple, easy process. And this process is part integration, but it's also part on a larger part of the work that we do that we call still point manifestation. Using this still point portal to manifest our next moment. Well, what is our next moment? In this case, our next moment could be a career situation you're wanting to manifest, relationship situation, a situation with your abundance. And so I want to start and do one process around how we understood how we pull up things from the past that are kind of cooking and welcome them and dissolve them. Yet now I want to kind of just explore how we use this as a portal for visioning. And then from that, we'll go into one more process, possibly, around looking into the next moment of our integration and return into our next moment. So everyone go ahead, take a nice drop in. And just hold it here again, just like back to the basics, what we did first day. Forget everything else, just kind of hold this and tighten it up a little bit. Until you feel that sense of, oh yeah, right there. Now, it's like that balloon is pumping up. Hold it until you feel a shift in. Right there, I took a sigh, took a breath. Just now, quantum field, still point space, nice, open. All right, now using this space, this portal, we all came in and kind of pulled up something, that big picture thing that's been going on in our lives since the last retreat or in the last few months or 6 months or however long. We pulled it up and we dissolved it. Now I want you to kind of flip that a little bit and look at an area that maybe it's around work. Maybe it's around something to do with your own personal journey, something you're wanting, more heart or more abundance. It's around your health and something you're wanting around your health or aging, whatever it is. Just take a moment. A great way to consider what you want to work on manifesting is just consider a few things. Like consider this and see, do you start to unwind when not so much? Well, then consider this. This is something we have to, it's not thinking. We're using our perception to kind of shift amongst different things. Okay, good. I found something. See if you find something. I just want to share with you, this is just another way to use this space of your still point portal. So I found the thing that that's been around and that I'm kind of wanting to consciously steward. And I pull up that thing. I just kind of let it sit here for a moment. First thing is being able to reference, all right, what is this thing? Let's contain it. Let's put it up over here. For me right there, I didn't even do anything. First step in the process for me is welcoming it. How can we help it grow if we're not giving it air to breathe? This is not, the old process was, think about it, have a lot of emotion about it, hold on to it and don't. This is about saying, no, get all that stuff out of there. Just welcome it. Just say, well, what's real here about this thing? And as I rest in that space, the next thing I kind of do is just kind of look around. I'm not only looking to dissolve. If this thing is a trouble or a challenge, then dissolve it first. Yet now we're moving a little bit more into let's see, what is, as resting here in this neutral space. Resting here in this neutral space. What's here? What does neutrality have to bring here around this? And just kind of reflect on this area. For emissaries, I always say, consider being an emissary, and then consider, you can do demos, you can go out and put flyers, you can do live streams, you can do expos. So what I'm doing is I'm considering this thing, whether an emissary is a good example, but whatever area, it's like, okay, well, what kinds of things could I be doing that might help to move this, to ripen this into the place, whether it's around your abundance or your work or your health or whatever. What are some things here that neutrality when you find something, I found something around this one area. For me, my body shifted. I took a breath. Process is part welcoming everything about that situation, and it's part staying very subtle to see, well, gee, what is that? What is induced here to help us to manifest this thing? Often little realizations will come, a little sense of, like right there, something landed into me about and I dissolved in as it was happening. It was information, not thought, information coming in here to this portal that we can organize around. Totally different view of information, not as a physical, emotional, or thought information, as a structure of information manifesting through neutrality into our experience that we can plant like a seed and grow, using neutrality as the essence to nourish it. To me, this is how I like to manifest. When I make the laser, this is how we made it. This is what I say when people say, oh, you're the inventor. I say, well, kind of. I just kept dissolving into neutrality and saying, let's see what wants to organize here. the relativity program, the packages we do, everything we kind of keep holding in neutrality until it kind of gets crystal clear. And it says, people say, I appreciate, as I came in, someone said, we're generous, and something like that. And this is, well, neutrality is what's generous. Neutrality is what's abundant. Neutrality is what's weaving everything. All right, good. Take a moment, drop in. Simple process. That wasn't a long, arduous process. That was me pulling up something, and I welcomed, dissolved it. One or two things landed in that crystallized, that put me into a deeper place, that are very clear for me about that thing and how I want to move in with that. I tell you, this process of still point visioning through this portal, I tell you, human beings are great manifestors. And a lot of human beings manifest through the body, through the emotions, or through thought. Those are the filters that people use. Oh, gee, I want this. I need more money. I need this. And I'll focus the intention or this. To me, I don't do that ever like that. I don't want to manifest through thought, through emotion. To me, that's even the movie, that movie that came out, that's a very, to me, I want to manifest through neutrality. Otherwise, you don't know if you really need that. You think you might need that, but is that really? That's why a lot of people think they need more money and they don't get it, and they say, gee, it's not working, We don't need money. We need resources. We need the neutral essence of the universe. And that neutral essence, this process we just did leads. Let's do one other process, not what I had planned, though. Drop into still point. Again, this is a still point abundance process. I tell you, you want to saturate, you want to open to the abundance of the universe and beyond. There's one key thing around abundance, and that is neutrality. In energy, you have solid, liquid, gas, ether, neutral. Well, what's more abundant, the solid thing, the physical finite body, or the neutral state of the energy of the universe? So everyone just drop in, we're nice here, and just pull up abundance, just like we did a moment ago. Just pull up abundance. And what all that is, not only money, it's resources, it's the energy of the universe, it's the experience of things that are truly abundant, like the stars, like the grains of sand. To me, abundance is about reorganizing our perception away from finite into infinite. The more infinite your experience is, the more resources and the vast abundance of the universe arrives and shows up and supports. And so as that's there, just simply say aloha, welcome abundance, welcome. See if it stops around anything. Maybe it stops for a moment, and maybe it pulls up, something pops up like someone in your family, or you start thinking about something, or there's some concern about how much money you have, or a business situation, or a real estate situation, and that's okay. That thing popped up because neutrality, as it's moving through the drain, there was something kind of clogged in there, and so it just stopped up against it. That's great. Just say to that thing, welcome, aloha. Just go right up, get cozy with it. You welcome it. I went right up to that little thing, kind of dropped in there. I welcome it. As it shifts, that experience starts to unwind a little more. Unwind. Until it just drops in. This is not something to do once. This is something to do if it's an area you want to be working on. Every day take a moment, and like the laser, you do something once a day, great. You do it every day for 2 weeks, a month, you're dissolving that structure. That's good. That's nice, good. Then right back into the field. Again, like I have said throughout the retreat, whether it's an injury, an emotion, an organ, a chakra, a thing like abundance or some other, all structures. All structures. All we have to do is be comfortable dissolving every structure back into neutrality, back into consciousness, essence of consciousness. All right, then reset right back into the field. Scan around the field. Let's do one more very simple process. Re-entry. Pull up into the space, the next moment of returning into your life outside of here. Just pull that up. So you could pull anything up into this space. Pull it up into this space. First thing you want to do with it is welcome it. Who knows who you're dealing with, or your work, or family, or situation, or neighbors, whatever the situation, home situation, travel, flight. Just pull up the whole transition from here back into that experience and welcome it first. Start welcome, aloha. If it hinges up a little bit on something, maybe it locks up a little bit about a location or a challenge that's been going on. Just say, oh great, thanks for showing up, aloha. Thank you. See if it starts to shift. Good. See if anything else happens. For me, some saliva opened up, some energy started flowing. You could be in the middle of a process like this and pull in. Something hinges up a little, welcome it, it dissolves a little, then activate a little energy. Use your tool. These are all resources that you have in the process of dissolving structures back into neutrality. Use them, whatever structure you're dealing with. Good, good. Now envision what you can do. Envision kind of going and arriving and setting this into a place, to a comfortable area in your home, your chair, and just what's that going to be like, you sitting there, opening up your field when you get home. I tell you, when I go places, I go to a hotel or resort, first thing I do when I get there, in the place we're staying, I find a little area, and that's my nucleus. I go there, I drop in, I open up. To me, everything is, for me, is going to move from that central expression essence. Everywhere I go, when I get on an airplane, I do the same thing. Whoosh, open. I go home after being on the road, I get in that one place in our home, the log cabin, I just welcome until it opens. You do this in one place a lot, and it's going to be open. You're going to go there, and it's like it just pulls you in. It's like, oh, I'm back. You don't even have to do a process every day when you go into that place that's so strong and charged. See how often you can do this realistically. Can you do this once a day? Can you sneak in there, duck in there 2 or 3 occasions a day? Check in with the kitchen and the kind of foods. Can you really open up some Ormus foods? See what kind of foods. Are there some juicing, some smoothies, some... And if something hinges up a little bit, maybe you're considering what's in your fridge, just say, great, welcome, aloha. Consider your whole home. Welcome the home. Welcome the property you live on. Place where you work. Welcome that into this space. People in your lives, the situation. Welcome everything that you're going back into, the map that goes right to that place, the experience. And this is how we open up and vision. We don't only come from the past, we also come from, if we can come from the past, we can come from the future, which is really nothing more than being. Great, good. And take a breath in, just drop right in. Welcome the whole thing. Everything here. Maybe it's not all figured out. Maybe you're not totally sure. That's okay. Just whatever is here in this space, welcome it. Aloha. Thank you. And back to quantum field. Go around the outside. Clear. Even with any people you considered or any situations, clear. Check in with the root, squeeze the root, drop that in. Energy flowing up. Saliva. Sphenoid area in, out, drop that in. Hold that. Whew. Open up the nice lotus, ambrosia, lotus, till it fills in this whole space. Right there, the sacrum kind of kicks in, the back of the sacrum, whoosh, energy. Neutrality can come flooding in from any place. It can come flooding in from the base, it can come flooding in from the heart, it can come flooding in from crown, it can come flooding in from the whole field, it is the permeating essence of every single thing. Notice the tongue on the roof, moving forward, back. Saliva. Oh, good. Occasionally I'll sit here for a little bit after I do and I'll just see what opens. The heart opens. Every day before you go out, open this up. See what subtle clothing you're going to put on to help you navigate your journey here. Right now on the planet, maybe some heart, some bliss. All right, good. Good, everyone, good. How was that? We did three or four little processes there. We went right through them. Anyone want to share? We have microphone. Those are some power. That's a different, we've gone through some different trends of how we can use this space of still point. We can use it just to drop in as an experience. We can use it to clear stuff from the past. We can use it to activate alchemy and dissolving into consciousness. We can use it as a portal to manifest. See, manifesting from the body and the personality, well, all you manifest is physical stuff. Manifesting from this space, you manifest all sorts of stuff. Physical treasures, universal treasures, consciousness treasures, unlimited treasures, integrated in being. Anyone want to share how one of those processes, any of those processes were? Yes, Giselle.
Hi.
Hi.
It's coming along.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes.
I was one of those very heavy thinkers.
Yes.
Very linear people. Had to kind of make sure that everything works in the right spaces, and I believe that I am one of those people that can manifest through thought and through emotion.
Yes.
But this is totally, totally different. It's almost easier.
Yes.
You know, I'm finding it happens a lot faster now.
Yes.
It's becoming more comfortable, and especially making decisions as well too.
Yes.
Making very heavy decisions.
Yes.
I find I'm more rooted now. My feet tend to be more grounded, and like it's getting easier and easier. You know, I have to say, you know, it's taking a long time.
Yes.
I've attended a lot of seminars.
Yes,
and
you have. Yes.
and it's I think I'm finally getting there.
Yes.
You know, need a couple more seminars, I think.
Me too, me
It's
too,
always
me
good
too.
to come back, you know, and you're absolutely right. Like, you know, we really need to treat ourselves to a retreat every, you know, I'm thinking about every couple of weeks because, whoa, this could be fun. Thank you so much again for sharing and for
beautiful,
showing us
Giselle.
this.
Beautiful, thank you. So you can tell it's using this. You see, the more we practice it, the more making decisions. Like I never go and sit and say, oh, I got to check in. For me, it's the decision's happening and I'm feeling it either going here or here. And that's just practice. And same with that process. What's that? Like my field is either kind of going like this or it's opening. And so I look to make the decisions and the choices and the things that are going like this, that are opening into that space. Now, isn't that a really simple process for manifesting? It's so easy, it's amazing that it's almost like how we've all missed it on this planet. Because it's like you just bring it in and it's like it wants to just go and say, oh, what about this? Oh yeah, that feels great. I'm going to do that. Oh, good. Yes.
Yeah, I was in Las Vegas, and where you said we should go home and go into our closet and do this.
Yeah.
Well, didn't I go home the very same day, and I live in a really old house, and didn't I lock myself in the closet? Because I didn't know from the inside something was wrong with the door. But anyways, once my boyfriend let me out, he completely forgot that I ever went in that closet. So I've been in that closet for about 2.5 months. I was in there almost every day.
Beautiful.
And now when I came here, it was so much easier.
Yes.
And I'm not really, I was kind of scared to go back home because of all the crazy, you know, the stuff of the world.
Yes.
But, you know, now I'm really looking forward to it. And I went through my, you know, I manifested so many things that I'm going to do, and I did so many more things that I never thought I could have done between March and now. So it's incredible.
Good work. Well,
process is
thank you so
beautiful.
much for sharing that. Normally I hear people share. That's just really powerful, and it's a really good cue-in for all of us here to really, it doesn't take long each day. I mean, really, I have days where it's like I get in for a couple of minutes. Yet in those 2 minutes, the place I get to is like what yogis say, in the blink of an eye. Blink of an eye, the whole universe and beyond can open up. You can get in there in 2 minutes, and all that, the relativity of all that other stuff is way outweighed by that moment of dissolution. It's those moments that I live for. I'll endure all day long. So long as I get that moment when I can shift in and come back, and I went swimming and I'm back and I'm like, all right, I'll dig in another day. So just every day, I learned this again from another great yogi who said, it's one thing to go to battle and to lose the battle. It's another thing to surrender to the entire war. And that's a tough analogy, yet daily, it's okay to get knocked down. It's okay to have a day and not to get there. It's okay to have some stuff go on. Yet, you know, just like the Weeble, pick it up, clear. And I don't mean beating up who you are and you did bad and you did this. No, I just mean whoosh, drop into still point. I have occasionally a few days go by, some heavy stuff going on, and then finally drop in, I'm like, whoo, I got pulled around on that one. And I get back here and I clear it up and I clean it up. I don't care what happens, how deep it is. I don't care if it's 6 months that you didn't get in. This is now yours. Flex it, open it, clear it, activate it, boom. You'll be back in there. In this thing, there's no past, there's no present. It's always there. All we got to do is just whoosh, drop in. Drop in. Thank you. Good work. Good work. Anyone else want to share?
Oh, this is great. No, I have an 80-year-old sister that we take shopping all, like she just is always after us. We take her shopping. She doesn't understand my work. And the week before I came, we went fishing for a week, and then and I never tell her where I'm going except the night before. Otherwise, I have to take her to the dentist or to the doctor. That's the routine. She finds something wrong. So anyway, I said, oh, I'm going away tomorrow. Tomorrow? Where are you going this time? I said, I'm going for a rest. Oh, didn't you rest at the cabin? No. I says, this is a different rest. I said, I'm going to meditate. What do you mean meditate? She says. And I said, I'm going with people that you can share, you can talk to. Well, she says, you can talk to me. I said, oh, it's totally different what I talk to you. But it's so nice to be here to know people. There's no judgment. That's what I like. And when I came and when I see your smile and, oh, Lily's smile and Essie, you guys light up a room, I feel like a light bulb goes on. I just love to be in your presence, and that's why I come, and it's getting easier and easier. So I don't want to get it fully, because then I won't. Yes, I'll come anyway. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're so special. Your family is so special, so generous, so gracious. There's no words. I can't think of anything to say except I love you guys, and I pray for you guys every day. Because I want you to not burn out, because you travel lots and you make lots of sacrifices. So thank you.
Thank you. That is
Thank
so
you, thank
sweet,
you.
dear. Both of you are just such sweet people. And, everything you say just makes me smile. I don't even have to really listen to hear exactly what you're saying. You just have a sweetness that exudes and joy and humor, and a real testament to humanity, both of you. Thank you. Thank you. And I'll say something. She hit on something so to me touching about these types of spaces, what I call sacred spaces, where we say this is a sacred space. What we share in here is what comes from us. It's real, and there's such a power in that. And I see that as we grow as a company, doing more of these retreats. That's getting very clear. Less of the one day just information. More of the 2.5 retreats every 2 months, maybe because to me, this is what people are longing for. To get into forget the laser. The laser is great because it's a tool to help us get here, and it's a tool that we go home and keeps us coming here. That's great blessing. Yet when we can share what's real, people go through their lives and they don't get a chance to ever share what's real. And what's real feels good, whether it's something that's hard, whether it's something that's been hurtful, whether it's something that you don't think you ever want to tell anyone. When we share it in the space of the real, it is a blessing for us and for everyone who honors and holds that space as sacred. So yes. And it's why I always say, anyone, if you haven't shared and you want to share, this is a great moment to do it. Because we're all here in that space, and it's empowering, and it's liberating, and it feels great. So anybody else here want to share from their experience of that process or of this weekend or of anything? Yes.
I wanted to say that I used to be very out there in the domain of business.
Yes.
And I've been on my spiritual journey, and I've had to dark night of the soul journey and a lot of loss. And so I've been very reclusive.
Yes.
And I felt that, you know, maybe at some point I should come back out there.
Yes.
But I find that it's difficult for me. Like I'm very sensitive, and like if I'm around a lot of people,
Yes.
then I get either very tired or very fearful.
Yes.
So I go back into being reclusive and
Yes.
doing my spiritual work.
Yes.
And so I am so grateful because Still Point, I can see that I now have a way that I can be out in the world.
Yes.
It's like I just come out with like one or two friends and have a
Yes.
wonderful time, and then I go back in
Yes.
to my being reclusive and doing my spiritual work.
Yes.
So I don't even know what to say.
Yes.
I'm so grateful because I now feel I have a way that I can now come back out into the world and be okay.
Yes. Beautiful.
So thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. And that's so important. That's what I love about this work and traveling around, is that still point, this space. That we are the people here that have come to this planet to help take this thing to a new place. And we've got to have the tools and the resources so we can get out there without getting blown out by the energies and the stuff going on, and get out there and hold that place of neutrality. And I always say the reason, the purpose of this company and everything that we do, it's the 100th monkey principle. Our goal and the reason we travel and we keep doing it, this neutral energy popped us open. And in my experience, my goal, my mission is to go around and invite, with this essence of neutrality, as many people as possible who want to open, because that is the moment here on planet Earth. And the more of us that open, this is a new activism. Not the activism of thinking and resistance and all this stuff. It's the activism of holding our field open. More of us that hold this field open, everyone we touch, fields are going to open. A certain moment we're going to hit a threshold, and the natural state of the human condition to be subtle nature is going to pop open. With that, we're going to manifest all new things. We're going to manifest economics. What is economics? Economics means of your home. Well, if your home is the body, separate from the energy of the universe, what is the collective experience of economics? Debt, greed, not having. Why? Because the equity is a reflection of the lack of having energy of the universe. You flip that, and we have a people of the quantum field, neutral energy. We have to manifest economics based on the principle of having, of abundance of the energy of the universe, which at this point isn't even rocket science equation. They already print money. They give it out to banks. Now they just have to print it and give it out to people that don't have it, and the whole system will actually thrive beautifully. It really, it's not even, not only that, giving it to banks means they hold it, risk it. We risk the system, give it out to people who don't have it. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to spend it. The whole system will just flower. Same thing with free energy. We're going to pop free energy. Same thing with education. Education is not about what you learn, what you know. It's about how you express your state of consciousness. Education, to bring out. That's what it means. Healing, regeneration, based on energy. Regeneration, understanding how to activate electrons so they're in alignment with the energy of the universe. All of these different areas of human experience on this planet are all right there, simply waiting for enough of us. Nature is entirely reflective. It's either conditioning the human situation, if people have a lot of emotional and psychic turmoil, or if we open up, we can have a profoundly neutralizing and stabilizing effect on our environment and outer circumstances. Why? Because neutral essence ether is what weaves together all of the other elements. So, on that note, we have all... Well, I'm sorry, please.
For me, it's been challenging because there's so much going on with me on so many levels.
Yes.
So the still point and the process is elegant
Yes.
and very effective.
Yeah.
And in the midst of all that, all this other stuff that's going on with me is crowding in, you know.
Yeah.
And one of the big things that's happening for me is that I'm very keenly aware that we're really at the 0 point of the tipping point between the old consciousness and the new. And of course, I experience it in my own self.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm aware that the banks no longer exist. We are the bank. You know, it's our value that they trade all the time.
Mm.
And that as I claim my own value, and the value is no longer in the physical and the doing part, but in the combination of the physical and the doing.
Mm.
But the doing without the being, this is the old world. You know? And so I've been experiencing a flux between those two worlds a lot.
Mm.
And very keenly aware of that process, both spiritually and physically in the company, because I'm very invested in the company, you might say, in many ways, because the company is a phenomenal tool, and it's a model for as we move out into this new season. As I am the value, you are the value, you're the value. And we come to that crossover point between the being and the doing. And so I'm extremely motivated right now to go out and tell people, look, you can be and do, and you can have abundance.
Yes.
And so to make that real feels very exciting right now. So thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Valentina. And to me, that's such, I love it, because those are classically two things, whether philosophically or in different traditions, being and the doing, and the being and the doing. And in many ways, the still point practice is a process of infusing, to me, almost the being and the doing are the positive, negative, and the still point is the neutrality. And so almost to me, part of this process, I understand, as many I'm sure here do, that gravitation between going out in the doing and then pulling back into the being and then going into the doing. And to me, so much of how I experience still point now is dropping into still point, whether I'm going into the doing or the being. Any place to me is a ripe opportunity to drop in to the still point and infuse it with neutral essence, which only then resets both into a new state of integrated balance and wholeness, and simultaneously completely reorganizes the old structure of how that interplay has fashioned in the last age. So good work. And amidst those, because that we feel it too. It's not like I leave here and I just go drop in and I'm blissing out in the state of, no, I leave here and things start cooking up and happening, and I got to make sure all the parts are coming in this week, and our build team is on, and regulatory getting ready for our meeting review, our management review, and we got some scheduling to do, and that's just one area of what happens in our world. So I'm going to leave here, and as I'm heading in, as I'm en route, just going to, I may be moving, but I'm holding it in here and fluffing this field out till I get to that situation, and then I get it. So bring this process. Don't shirk when other things get intense. All that is to me is saying, okay, it's cooking up. I got to make sure I find my little spaces to drop in. Transitions. Busy doing stuff in the transition in the car, waiting for someone, going in somewhere. Whoosh, open it up. Let that neutral wave come in. I tell you one thing, those who get close to the essence find it doesn't always mean things get very easy and quiet and peaceful. You get into neutrality here, it's like you light the flame, and what does the flame do? It sucks all the air. So you get neutrality flowing strong, and all the karma, all the things. You know, the people with the strongest thing happening, they have the most challenge. No way around it. And they have the most capacity to handle challenge, which is why they have the strongest challenge. Relative. So I just keep turning it over. That's all I do. I just turn it over in neutrality. Come in. And make sure your field stays strong. All right. Good work, everyone. Very, 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 very good work. Thank you all.